I used to struggle frequently with feeling that I didn't pray enough. Finally, I realized that the root problem was not being able to collect my thoughts, put them into words, and then express those words to the Lord as often as I would have liked to. Why? Because, like a sizable percentage of the population, I'm far more introverted than extroverted. The typical extrovert needs liberal doses of sensory stimulation and connection through dialogue, but introverts require plenty of solitude and quiet. Most introverts enjoy people, conversations, and even a lively party as much as anybody else, but all these things require energy. Too much chit-chat and our energy trickles away like water through a fractured vase. Finally, we have to regroup and refuel in silence. So what are we introverts supposed to do after a day of interacting with family or colleagues? Too often, by the time we slip away to get alone with God, we've run out of words. The remedy lies in an understanding of the true definition of prayer, a heart turned toward God, to meditate on the goodness of God, to worship Him as creator of both the stark sky of winter and the flowers in your garden, to allow the Lord to wrap you in His presence as you swing in a hammock. In short, to intentionally welcome His voice and give Him your attention. This, too, is prayer. So if you're an introvert who finds that your soul is turned toward God, but you've run out of words, keep in mind that these moments don't constitute, quote, lesser prayers. The substance of your Godward silence, whether sorrow, joy, or simply longing for more of God, is pleasing to Him. He's fully aware of your heart toward Him, even when you can't manage to put your thoughts and emotions into literal words. I certainly don't want to minimize the significance of traditional prayer. In fact, it would be impossible to overemphasize its importance. Even so, we who long for quiet in a raucous, frenzied world must realize that to fully engage with God does not always require words. Think about what the writer of Ecclesiastes said. He said, "Do not be hasty to speak, and do not be impulsive to make a speech before God. God is in heaven and you are on earth, so let your words be few." Jesus Himself agreed in Matthew 6:7, "When you pray, don't babble like the Gentiles, since they imagine that they'll be heard for their many words." In this digital age, our schedules are far too busy, and so are our minds. We can get so accustomed to constant clamor that silence will make us squirm. God, however, is not intimidated by stillness, no matter the circumstance. In fact, there were times He commanded silence even in a crisis. When Israel's enemies surrounded them on every side, Moses instructed the people, "The Lord will fight for you, and you must be quiet." Similarly, when the next generation was directed to conquer the city of Jericho, the battle plan included this directive: do not shout or let your voice be heard. Don't let one word come out of your mouth. Many Christians can testify that some of their most intense, life-changing spiritual experiences with God have not involved words. They have instead involved a heart laid wide open before Him. Spoken prayers are wonderful, but the love that reaches from your heart to God's, that's the language that moves Him. Thanks for listening. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.